Are not in the temple because of the money. While many people in ISKCON, India, I would say hundreds and perhaps thousands, if you put together Mumbai, Vrindavan, Mayapur, this, that, thousands of people, they work in the temple, but their motivation is not bhakti. It's not, they don't see themselves as members of ISKCON. That's different. We all get something. I mean, even the most renounced brahmachari get some food, get some clothing, get some transport, get some books to read, right? Even the most, imagine the most, I mean. So don't think, no, I'm fast. I don't want to take money from ISKCON. That's not recommended. Okay? So, 6, they maintain a level of fertility sufficient to at least offset member mortality. People die, and even members of religious organizations die, so they need new members, right? So one way of having new members is having more children. That's one way of making devotees. It's a very practical point. It may not be relevant to your personal lifestyle, but it's a relevant point. There are groups which, for instance, there is a group, Christian Scientists. It's called Christian Scientists. They attracted a lot of elder women, and it was quite big. And then these elder women started dying off, and elder women could not have children, didn't have children, and then the religion just declined very terribly. Have you heard about the Amish? The group, the Amish? You have heard about the Amish. The Amish is a Christian group. They came from Europe at one point, 17th, 18th century, and they went to America. And they are very closed communities, and they're agriculturalists. They don't make new Amish. They don't preach. And they also lose a lot of members because they're very strict. They don't have phones in the house. They don't use electricity from outside. They don't use cars, only horse carts. They have many restrictions, So many of their people just go away, defect. But still they grow because they have a lot of children. So it's one consideration in the history of religious movement. Now 7, they compete against weak local conventional religious organization within a relatively unregulated religious economy. See, this means unregulated religious economy means there is freedom for preaching. See, in some country, the state does not allow a certain groups to exist. Could be us, could be many other groups, they are not allowed to exist. So it's kind of hard to compete in that condition, okay? Like when the state is, all state is Muslim, and you cannot preach to Muslims, then it's hard to compete. But if there is an unregulated religious economy, if there is freedom, and there are weak local conventional religious organizations, then you can beat them. How many of you, before joining ISKCON, were part of some religious group, religious community, which may fit this description? Weak conventional religious organizations. How many of you? Raise your hand. Okay, so what were you in? You have a mic? You have a mic for the contributors? Just so everybody hears.
Call the society within the Hindu community itself that.
What's called?
Society. Swadhyaya society.
Suicide society? What's that? I wonder. Swadhyaya society. So it's a religious group, but it's a bit weak.
Yes.
And so you see, they lost. Who else? Yes.
I changed many.
You changed many. Okay.
One was
Don't change anymore, please.
One was Satya Sai.
Satya Sai.
Another was Ramakrishna Vivekananda. Another was Bal Yogi.
Bollywood.
Bal Yogi.
Bal Yogi.
Yeah, he's Delhi based.
Delhi based.
Delhi based. Oh, Delhi based. Sorry.
Another was Ananda Margi.
Anandamar.
Yeah. He's
You
famous.
could write a book
Yeah.
and your experiences. And then
There was one unnamed Babaji.
Babaji.
Yeah, Babaji.
Her name.
Unnamed, without name.
Unnamed Babaji. Oh, okay.
Vaishnava.
Babaji. Okay.
Without name.
So you survived all of them and you came to us. And you basically it fits with this. Kind of conventional, a little weak, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't give you that vision, the clarity, that enthusiasm.
Question asking was not allowed.
Okay. Question answer is not allowed. And you cannot even ask why it's not allowed? Next group. Who were you with? And this, I'm sure, not many people raise your hand, but probably even those who did not raise their hand, they had their own, they probably frequented some local temple with their mother, right? Yes. Ganesh worship, this, that, right? All of you did, no? But you don't even consider that an organization, right? You just, okay. Yes, Prabhu, tell us all your secrets.
I was in Art of Living earlier.
Art of living. Oh, so you learned, you came to the Hare Krishna movement.
Before that, I was in the connected to Ramakrishna Mission, reading their books and trying to understand. And finally,
They didn't satisfy you. Okay, so these are examples of when there is there's full freedom in India, right? I mean, you can choose anything you want. So it's what they call technically unregulated religious economy. And sometimes they're weak. No, they may not have so much energy or stimulation. You want to say something? Okay, number 8. They sustain strong internal attachments while remaining an open social network, able to maintain and form ties to outsiders. Okay, this is very important. This is very important. Our whole, basically the whole congregational development, different when it's organized, when it's systematic, when it's planned. It's really, it's an attempt of giving people strong internal attachments, creating strong bonds, with superiors, with peers, even with younger people, strong bonds. Say a normal person, like any average devotee will have superiors, ideally with strong relation with those superiors. Peers, okay? So, like for instance, our average congregational devotee, say initiated congregational devotee, serious, he has strong relation in ISKCON, but he has a lot of relation outside ISKCON as well. His family, work, yes, family, relatives, neighbors. He lives in the society and he has a lot of networks. And therefore they can grow. They're protected by the relation, the attachments. This is obviously we are talking about personal attachments, not material attachments. So this is an important formula. Then 9, they continue to maintain sufficient tension with the environment, remain sufficiently strict. In other words, many movements, they start strict and then they become weak, they become loose. They start knocking off, okay, 4 principle, well, let's make 3.5. And I'm not joking, I mean, this is happening in ISKCON. While we are talking here, maybe we are talking about this here in some other parts of the world, some devotees telling, 4 principle, it's it's really not necessary. 3.5, it's okay, you know. And that's about 3. 3 is enough. 2, you know, you tend to grow, what do you call it, weak and loosen up on the strictness. And some groups, I mean, it's like you see, you go in many countries, the traditional, even in India, the traditional Hindus, you almost don't, some Hindu and an atheist, they basically have the same lifestyle, right? They have the same lifestyle. They eat the same things. They watch the same cinema. They watch the same television. They watch the same cricket. They watch the same politics. They dress the same way. Just that the Hindu guy once in a while goes to the funeral, the marriage, he puts some turban or something, right? But otherwise the lifestyle and basically the worldview is the same. They're unrecognizable. So successful groups maintain the strictness. And number 10, again with the children, they socialize the young sufficiently well as to minimize both defection and the appeal of reduced strictness. This means they integrate their youths. They integrate the youths. Now people are born in a movement, or at least the parents join when they're young, very young. Huh? How many of you grew up in the movement? No one. Now you're all, sociologically speaking, new converts. Okay? Because you're not in the movement. You came by your own choice. But there are many people, a growing number of people, who are born in the movement. They're not ISKCON by their own choice. And it's a different ball game. It's a different dynamics. So here, Professor Stark say, successful movement, they integrate these people. First of all, they minimize defection. People, this youth don't want to say, I'm not ISKCON anymore, I go to Narayan Maharaj, or I'm not ISKCON anymore, I become this, that, Christian, this, that. You follow defection. And also, appeal of reduced strictness, because second generation tend to push, no, let's not be so strict, let's not do all these things. So, and this is a major issue that really some of us are not even thinking of, frankly speaking. Some of us are not, because you may not have children, so it's just not a priority in your mind. But in our community, there are a lot of children, there are a lot of youth, especially. Children is not a problem, you felt, because 4, 5, 6, they do what the parents tell. When they hit 11, 12, 13, that's a major challenge. And Stark says in this paper that he wants to write much more about this, but at least as a hint, he says, religious movement, successful religious movement, find things to do for the youths. Find things in which the youth can do something for the group, in the group. They don't just take them for granted. They don't say, he grew up as a devotee, his parents are very nice devotees. Yeah, that doesn't work like that. Look at Prabhupada children. The story, not the stories, the fact Prabhupada's son tried to steal away the whole ISKCON. You know that? One of his sons? You didn't know that? Who never heard about that? Yeah, it was a protracted court case. Prabhupada's son said that no, he was not a sannyasi, or even if he was not supposed to have taken sannyasi. Therefore, anything he created belongs to me, to his elder son. And for years, he's gone to fight in the court. For years. So it's not automatic. So nice devotee couple and the children. That was extreme, but it's not automatic. They have the same integration. Yes, Prabhu.
I have a question.
Sure.
The third point mentioned that the religious society has to maintain some strict, some tension, not too strict, but little more.
Just like that. Okay.
The third point,
Not too strict.
yeah. And the ninth point also seemed to say the same thing. So what exactly is the difference there?
You see,